What's good, YouTube? It's your boy DJ Liftoff with the JP Way, and you don't want to miss this flight. In today's video, we're going to be learning a 1-bar scratch pattern performed by none other than one of my favorite DJs, DJ Puffy.
Wake up and repeat. She took a look, mixed it with the chill out. Now she said she's saying 3D. I go in the jungle and nigga.
Now I picked this particular scratch pattern not because it has super hard techniques as far as actually scratching. However, it does have some challenges when it comes to the timing of the scratches. So make sure that you understand how to count. If you don't know how to count the 1E and the 2E, make sure you watch the how to count video first. All right, DJs, the first thing we're going to go over for this particular scratch pattern is the tear scratch. Now, this is a scratch that I haven't covered on my YouTube channel. However, it is pretty simple, but it will take some practice. Now, the tear scratch is a faderless scratch, and it's going to require 3 sounds. So first, let me go ahead and show you what it looks and sounds like. So first, go ahead and load up the Serato Scratch Sentence. It's going to be available for download in the description below. Then once you have it loaded, make sure it's playing. Now again, this is a faderless scratch, so you can leave your crossfader in the middle anywhere. Just make sure it's not on the sides, okay? So the first thing you're gonna do is you're just gonna push your jog wheel forward or your platter forward. And then once you do that, you're gonna wanna come back by moving your hand backwards to the beginning of the sound, except you're gonna wanna do 2 sounds with this, okay? So essentially, you're just pushing forward first, then you're coming back halfway, and then you're coming back all the way. So you get those 3 sounds. Da, 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 da. So the first thing you're gonna wanna really practice is when you're coming back, you're not gonna wanna actually make like a scribble sound. So sometimes when you're just starting out, you might do this. As you can see there, you can hear those scribble sounds. So as you continue to practice, make sure that you're getting 3 clean sounds. When you are practicing the tear scratch, it's very common to have that little scribble when you're on your way back. So don't worry about that. Just continue to practice and practice and practice. It's especially hard to do on jog wheels. But like I always say, the more you practice, the more you'll get better at it. So once you've practiced that a little bit, now we're ready to actually jump into the scratch pattern. So first, I'm going to go ahead and show you the scratch pattern a little bit slowly. Then we'll go ahead and break it down. So there's our full scratch pattern right there, a little bit slowed down. So now, before we actually break it down, let's talk about where we actually want to use or bring in the scratch pattern. So let's say we want to use this scratch pattern to actually transition into a new song and drop it on the 1. So for example, let's say we have 4 bars left of a chorus, okay? We're going to want to bring this scratch pattern in on that 3rd bar, on the 4th beat, on the and. So if we were to count that, it will be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. We're going to start this scratch pattern with a quick scribble. So 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So this scribble is going to be right on that and it's only going to last for that half beat. 4 and 1. Okay. So now let's do the first half. I'm going to show you, then we'll break it down. 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. Okay, so that's what we have at the beginning, that scribble. Then all we have are 2 half chirps. And I'm also going to be showing you a different way that you can instead use half chirps. You can also use stabs, but first we'll just do the half chirps. Okay, so again, 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 scribble, and right on that 1 we have half chirp, and then we're gonna bring that platter back, then we're gonna do another half chirp. Okay, so we have just like that. Right after that, we're gonna have that tear scratch that we went over at the beginning, and as far as the count, we're gonna start that tear scratch right on the 2, and we're gonna have 1 and 2 and. So now for the second part of this scratch pattern, we're actually going to be using our E's and our U's as far as counting. So we're going to count 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1. And the reason we're counting like this is because we're going to be dropping parts of this scratch pattern on some of those syncopated beats on those E's and U's. 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1. So for the second half, all we simply have are 3 half chirps. So we're doing this 1, 2, 3. And on each of those, we're pulling that platter back so we don't get the sound on the way back. So all we're essentially doing is we're pushing forward, cutting it, pulling that platter back. 2, same thing, pulling back, opening that crossfader. 3, once we're here, all we're going to do is we're going to open this platter as we pull back, and we just have this. So as far as counting that, we have 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1. So the most important thing for this particular scratch pattern is understanding where to actually do the scratches and making sure you're right on beat. So especially when we get here on that last half chirp, we're going to be on 3E and So then you want to make sure you're waiting until E after that 4. So we have 3E and 4E and 1. Now I know that may seem a little bit complex as far as timing, or if you're a little bit more advanced, it might not be so hard for you, but just make sure when you're practicing this that you're being cognizant of when you actually are dropping each sound, okay? Now, for those who actually want to do stabs instead of the half chirps, I actually believe it'll actually be a little bit easier to do this scratch pattern. So after you do the scribble at the beginning, instead of doing those 2 half chirps, you could do 1 half chirp and then a stab. So it will look like this instead. Just like that. So instead of doing that half chirp again, you can just leave that platter closed. When you're right here, still pull back, but then you're just doing this stab instead of the half chirp, okay? Now, once you get here, you're just gonna open this crossfader as you push the platter forward. Same thing as the tear, or same tear as before. After we do that tear scratch, now we're just gonna have 1 half chirp again, and then we're gonna do 2 stabs. But on that second stab, we're actually gonna leave our crossfader open. So after we do that tear scratch, now we're gonna have 1 half chirp like this. We're gonna pull that platter back. We're gonna have 1 stab, pull back, and then we're just gonna have pretty much a stab, but we're actually gonna just leave the crossfader open. And then once we get to that 4E and 1. Okay, so that entire thing with the stabs instead is gonna look like this. So as you can see there, you can do the half chirp or you can do that stab. It's actually, like I said, a little bit easier, I think, to do the stab as far as using your hands. I just feel more comfortable doing the chirp. And remember, it's that same type of deal for a lot of different scratches and scratch patterns. There's different ways to complete the same pattern. One thing, however, definitely do the tear scratch in the middle. There's even other ways to do that, like using a transformer. However, for this particular scratch pattern, make sure you learn that tear and get comfortable with the tear, because there are other scratch patterns that you can insert that where it makes a lot of sense. Okay, so that is going to be the full scratch pattern. Leave any comments in the description or in the comment section if you have any questions. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, as well as turn on the notification bell so you know the next time that I upload a video. Without further ado, I'll catch y'all on the next flight.
You can get the biggest Chanel back in the store if you want it. I gave them the drill, they sucked it up, I got them on it. I bought a new Patek, I had to wait so I two-tone them. Taking these drugs, I'm gonna be up until the morning.